especially are want to practice. And they'll give you some intimidating list of to your suitor, to your potential son-in-law, and a lot of things. Some say they want a total renovation of the building before such marriages are done. Others say they prefer, to have everything converted into cash, And if it goes in cash, how would you then satisfy the other rituals or traditional rites that must be done? I don't know how, if we can, capitalize or make it, if we can, capitalize marriages. In other words, the things that are needed for marriages, we now say, okay, instead of giving the goods, give us the money. Are there dangers attached to these things? These are some of the issues we want to know on this program. And also, some prefer to say, okay, let's forget about our parents, let's go elsewhere and do it. After all, they never sent us to school. After all, they were not part of, upbringing when we were kids. And we can go ahead and do this without them. And some prefer to actually stay back and inform the parents that we are ready to go into this. How do we go about it? Is it right for the parents to go and seek for a husband for the daughter, or is it not right? These are the issues which I'll look at on this issue, on this program, Our Tradition on Sunday special show. And Oku is here to answer your questions. You will as well be part of the program, much like Oku. So let's go into it. Now, traditional marriages. What is a traditional marriage in Akwa Ibom? What constitutes traditional marriage in Akwa Ibom?
When we say traditional marriage, it is us that are segregating or segmenting. Marriage is marriage, right? When you say traditional marriage, you are the one creating a different class.
Okay, under native law and customs.
Yes, like marriage is marriage, right? Every ethnicity have their own approach to marriage, and a true marriage is the one that fulfills your traditional and cultural rights. But today, somehow we've allowed ourselves to be cajoled, and then we have created 3 segments out of marriage, and a lot of people even want to fulfill the 3 segments, and that is the statutory marriage, or otherwise referred to as the court marriage. The other one is the traditional marriage, and then a lot of them now do the church, call it the church wedding. And I'm happy that some churches are beginning to rule out the church wedding, saying that it's a waste of money, because it's true. The white wedding is simply a white man's tradition. It becomes absurd that you as a black man, you are doing yours and doing that of another person before you feel validated to be married. It's very wrong. So here, if we would focus on what you call traditional marriage, it actually means to be married according to the custom of your family.
Okay.
Because it is family based, not even a general Ibibio thing. For instance, the Mboria is not a general Ibibio phenomenon. Some places don't do it, some places do it. So it's about fulfilling your family demands. Yes, okay. For being married.
It shouldn't be borrowed.
Yes, it shouldn't be borrowed.
Okay.
So that's basically how the traditional marriage is. And then the concept of the traditional marriage is quite unique, because it is the only aspect of marriage that considers the fact that marriage is a union of both the humans and the spirit. That is to say that it considers the ancestries of the parties involved. Since marriage is about taking from the woman's family, so the spirits that are involved in that house will be well satisfied. If not, it becomes a problem. Such scenario we find in a place where a man takes the marriage of his daughter into a different city to do it. It usually causes a lot of problem. But then if marriage was just about a physical thing, why should that be a problem? That I have chosen to take my daughter to be married anywhere, to do the ceremony anywhere, and then it becomes a problem for me tomorrow.
Would that be a problem?
Yes, it is a problem.
Okay,
a lot of people are suffering from that repercussion. I once met a driver. That morning, people were rushing to help him fill up his bus, and then he was looking so sorrowful. So since I was on the front seat, we got talking. He said the wife just died that morning, and he has taken her to the mortuary, and that he was so disturbed he had to rush and do some findings, and find out that it was the marriage ceremony that killed the wife, and that when he's done paying the mortuary money, he's going to go and hold the father-in-law accountable. I said, why? He said, because when he was taking the marriage from me in Ibibio to Itu, the families called him and said, you can't do that thing. He said, leave it, I'll bring your things home. And they asked him, afọ yen mi bo ya iko no mbo mbori onye onu de awuteri ro mo for namdi. So this was the first pregnancy. Point of delivering, she died. Who is to be blamed? And that's just one of the incidents that we have seen, or personally I have seen, because this is my field. A lot of people consult me on different things. So I tell people, marriage is not just a thing for those that are alive. Even those of us that are alive, we can even make we can make amends, you can make considerations here and there. But what is meant for the spirit must go to them. I also have a very pertinent case that occurred some time ago. A father said because him and the mother of this child are no longer married, he said the woman is not going to sit as the mother-in-law. And it became a big problem. Who should sit? He said the first daughter should sit. So okay, no problem. The first daughter sat. But this woman, being that the real person to be married, being that she has knowledge of traditional things and all of that, was wise enough to spend extra, buys the things for the mother in twos, took one to the mother's sister, because the mom as at this time was late. But the mother sister would have been the one to sit as a mother. But this one didn't want that. And so he took those things straight to the village and said, Nyanam do, same pond down for me, it me go good here, but maybe them for so young dom me okay. Amen. And so the daughter that sat, our elder sister that sat, died the same month. She, the Namdo, was very sick. But I get what to you came having one no make a no. And she became well.
Really? Okay.
So for talk, because my rate it is really bad. We also have a case of where a father, boyfriend, girlfriend, and then you never went to the woman's place to at least acknowledge when this girl was now ready to be married. Because you've not acknowledged the family that owns the mother that has given birth to that child. So traditional marriage is very unique because it settles both the physical and the spiritual. And if you must be married, you must invest your time, your resources in meeting up with all the spiritual aspects of marriage. Traditionally, not that you are going to do 40 days dry fasting and all of that, trying to clear your path. No, that doesn't work.
Really? So there's no shortcut to it?
There's no shortcut to it. Wow. The families involved, spiritually and physically, must be satisfied, and they bless you. That's when you are married. Okay,
before you get married, you better listen into a program on Memories 96.5 FM. We're talking our tradition on Sunday special show. We're taking a look at native law and customs, marriage or relationship, as you would call it, and the do's and don'ts of it. And some decide to make it financial. So, okay, instead of this and that, let us rather have the cash. We shall convert everything in cash, and you can go ahead and do a union. Such conversions in traditional or native law and customs, relationships or marriages, is not acceptable. It's not acceptable. But people still do it and go away with it. Those are like I remember some time ago. I think whether we're talking on air. Let's see. Maybe you have it. It was. You have it. You have it. Let's see if we can take this call for you. Hello. Hello. Good evening.
Hello. Good evening.
Yes, you're welcome. This is Sunday special show. We're on our tradition.
Okay. Yes, I want to contribute concerning the marriage of the thing.
All right. Go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
Okay, my name is Kingsley. I'm calling from Rio.
Okay, Kingsley, you can have your contributions. We're waiting.
Okay, I just want to be affirmative about the whole program that when it comes to marriage, the traditional aspect of it that's the main marriage, because both families and the both parties involved need to align themselves with the customs and tradition of their place or places, both on the paternal side and the maternal side. So I would love to encourage everybody who wish to get married to not to neglect the traditional aspect of it and give every item that is being required to do so. They should take it very serious because it's important, and like everybody could say, there's always a problem if everything has not worked out as planned.
Yeah.
So I really love everybody to pay attention to the traditional aspect of the marriage more than the other white stuff. Thank you.
All right, and Johnny is saying more people should pay attention to the program on radio so that you can learn more.
Exactly.
Yes. I wish everybody to tune to the program, the traditional program, every now and then, so that they will gain insight too.
All right, thank you very much.
Really?
All right.
Thank you. Happy Sunday.
Same to you, my brother. Thank you very much. You want to live long so that you'll enjoy your marriage. Okay, Oku,
So
there you go.
I was saying that well, I appreciate the caller for at least supporting. You know, last Sunday we had a lot of fire.
Yeah,
So,
fireworks. I guess
so, now, the liquidation of marital rights or items is one of the grievous crime you can commit against your daughter.
Okay.
Why so? You see, the concept of marriage is usoro, and when they say usoro, usoro in Ibibio simply means adia mean India. Ado ite India. Are we together? So the idea is even bomedi. Then, in the place of a boat, for instance, may spirit area the room. Awita from the blood frequency. So when you have collected the money value for the goods, for the CEO 10 kobe you can't do that. Okay,
Okay, let's take a break and take a commercial break. We'll come back. Stay with us.
The Memories 96.5 FM.
Soonly, we're gonna take it to the borderline, and we're on our tradition on Sunday special show. Yes, Oku, you were on an issue. How would you transform your
convert
your cash into
the spirit
so that the spirit will share.
So you give the spirit 10 kobo, or how much will you give to be equivalent to the blood value? And then we get to that of the drinks, right? What if you collect money? What do you pour for them? You pour water in the place of the drink? No. You know, there are segments of marriage that at a certain point a certain drink will be poured. What do? I see people even replace the hot drink with maybe a soft drink, a palm wine with maybe a malt. The value, the natural value, frequencies, everything is measured in frequency. The frequency of a mineral can never be compared to that of palm wine. The frequency of even your these fabricated drinks, gins, there, and they can never be equivalent to fofo. It can never. They have a very high frequency. When they are called spirit, it does not just mean spirit. They resonate at the same level of spirit. They open doors. They wake spirits. A lot goes on. So in that place, you may say yes, so you may say you have collected maybe a book is made up of both the living and those that are not living. For instance, I want to go to okay, we have is it not the unseen members of the epoch that execute those things? So you don't for many the unseen part of the family, also.
You can answer these questions by dialing 0803 085 7755 or 0809 066 6909. The numbers again are 0803 085 7755 or 0809 066 6909. When you convert your financial requirement, when you convert your material requirements into finances, how will you satisfy the gods? All right, there is a friend here that wants to contribute. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
You're welcome, Mama.
I am radio.
Who am I made here, dear?
Indiana.
All right. I come back for.
Maybe woman I kid or I so I used it out for like 5 years. I used it out. So you the young can be more without addicting anything. So I hate him without anything. Is it possible? Okay, this is the young anything before. I'm an second house. I need Papa. So is it possible in fact when you look to the first husband and you get young one, but she left the house without taking anything from her own? What could cause the death of those unborn children?
Okay. Thank you very much. Okay.
You see, that is why I said marriage is not just a thing of the physical. The people that are dead are also part of Indo. Now, Afodiben Ponyong does not mean get from a one kendo. One kendo. Afogen Haram no phenomena in me. You are equivalent to Sangisium. It's as simple as that. Ndom for me, eke annul on you officially. Because according to now, yesterday, you be my pong even name. So you have until one at the Wombo, Ima Yanka, Lubego, and somebody. The next car get here, man, I know. I
put my ben for my personal belongings, someone more.
At Ben, I announce officially my Mick Bong Dom, if honor you more, both family, Edio. Some families, as it all Korean, no. There in Yendo, AI go ye return. The woman, the family woman, AI return or cock ndo ado. Yes, AI return. That's when those one about army.
I return can you be the free man and get on?
Yes.
Okay.
I will my return go free. Even in the cases where I get near no another person get outside. This other man and near I beg a court a contest a winner. This other man and near because I will want to get say you can near guess you know come on call whatsoever. This other man have been near. So the ideal thing, officially announced. Then, if one condo ufana, enoye. Sado yegate on about my wolfing. I won't maybe Ibarakoro, I know the family return. You know all about. That's all he needs to know. Then, if we didn't make any info, no wolfing, and yet do free. Bonteva is some.
I remember part two that. Maybe now they know stop banga kedi.
I begin one dog personally. I begin one dog very well, and then I must check a man and fool. Maybe a man and fool man in to me common because of bamboo no
you have any contribution?
Yes, like I always say, the motto at the change of ownership. Until you do the change of ownership. I will photo free. Who's a woman go for? Who's on the announce every motor monster? Am I come? I did know. I'm gonna yes, I'm going. Until I return this morning, you know, feel. A football. I will okay. Say, we get a very fun raven. The goods of a bomb going.
That must be done. And then, as I was saying, Anna, and you're going to check a man because some of us in Isasanga, there are people through reincarnation that meets it may a uyo or a cam. I don't know keyword. One of such is kemana ye kemana uro itrite. That means you can never give birth. Or kemana ye kemana bum ubono umana yinu yemi tien kama ya fupa.
As a cause.
Asanga kusong even asanga kiworo wana asanga kiworo awore abara ibo nte wore akpuro one no one temni dia tapu no ya dia akpa different thing. That's why I see all this in this recently we have lots of young marriages that are disintegrating as a result of death and few other things, because before for nam check them for you know what is the state. Well, because we believe that get mark ba anyo. I used to say, Gido coincidence, Ibibio come Kadi, Eddie Uncle Mauka Yadi, Umaudi Yaka. It's a circle of life. Reincarnation is certain. So, the life is one. The coming and going is different windows, but the life is one. So, what you did in your past life, whether 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 life, it is still there in your existing record as a spirit or as a basie forogo. Until you go and rewrite the ones that should be rewritten, you suffer the repercussion on and on. Kemana ye kemana. Even when we look at the Bible from Ecclesiastes, it says, "Do not be mocked. Whatsoever a man sows, that he will reap, either in this life or the next life to come." At least in those in the Bible.
So what's a message to would-be suitors and mates?
My message is simple. Before spiritually, then next one, spiritually. Another thing we need to know about Ndo is that there has to be a spiritual harmony. You know, the capacity, so I'm ready to marry. There has to be a spiritual bond. That is to say, and or then there's this natural flow. In my maybe body wise, this woman makes me feel somehow, makes me feel so nice and all of that. Marriage does not start with the feeling. It starts with the harmony. That is to say, tell of buy ye me 1 naira for Kenya, afro 10, afro 20, because there is this auric enablement between the two of you. While the other one of the 1,000 mira 5 naira. In fact, because what is with this person is not in harmony with what is with you.
Okay.
In addition to that, I will come more play the same way in this new world, in this digital age. I don't want to can do one. You know, maybe for us, take a check. Get test them for check your genotype, your PVC, check your what that's the blood group and all that. So this digital age too. Traditionally, like when I want to say get check, I want to get test them more traditionally. I don't want to get ibake more ikito ngiri nzigiro kanga imanago because they were bad yes so that boy on young now young get sort out mon go young get blood group my do AS and you do AS kilo si do yeah so young di ka get check ngo meg eso mo meg kanga ba die kile mo ye me do ya me do wo do get do di ngbon so ba so ye ma te ma so and so on and so forth. So I believe both sides to be checked before marriage.
It's a two-way thing. You check both and you know how to manage it.
Yes.
All right. I thank you so much, Ukotex, for that contribution. Next week we want to continue with this thing because I have a lot of flashing, but I need the calls. We'll continue with this traditional marriage under native law and customs next week. Thank you very much, Uko Ekwenyama, I think. Etugudo, that's right.
Ukotex. Ukotex Ventures.
Ukotex Ventures. Yes. Thank you very much. He is at number 248 Abak Road. All right, thank you very much. Oko Esen is a regular face and voice on this show, and a lot of people want to meet him. People send text messages, don't call me. He will give you his contact. You can go on Facebook, I think.
Yeah,
and Oku right?
On Facebook, yes.
On Facebook, you'll find that you can continue your discussions there. Otherwise, he will come in here next week Sunday, and we will continue with much more on native law and customs marriages. And also we have other issues that has to do with Akwa Ibom State that we should also highlight and talk about. Thank you very much for joining me.
My parting shots.
Okay, your parting shots.
Yes, the guy now uyo koporo adu uyo ukotex ukoire turo about then even in the village radio get message mo ya mewo e wari train bo wari train message na nam ke radio mo ya mewo wari train tutu mi songo yang ni idio azen o woni dia wari nam ga ya for near food.
All right, that's carpentry.
Yes, carpentry.
All right, we were on Productivity Plus, and he gave a point on that he's interested in grooming young Akwa Ibomites into that profession and guiding them into the profession as well. Thank you very much for joining me. I am Ibibio.
Thank you.